Are we live?
So we are live.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So I have the kids and everyone is like laughing like crazy. 5 minutes before I went live, everything went pitch dark. There's no storm. I don't know what's going on, but I might have like maybe 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to do this quick. Thank you everyone for being here. And what sucks the most is that I actually went on and paid like the $20 for StreamYard to have everything set up just for tonight. And I can't
Marilyn is still in the background.
Oh, she is. Oh, I don't even know. Okay, more. No.
You should have paid the hydro bill first.
Oh, sorry, Marilyn. At the stream. There you go.
I was going to Google Translate.
So, hello, Patrick, Tracy, Angie, Jack, Darren, Annie, Marilyn. I think pretty much everyone in the chat knows you. So I figured we're gonna try to do something different, and I didn't expect this to happen. Stop laughing, you. They're all
done gone off grid.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I see some lights in the town nearby. Cause where I am, I see way up above everyone else, but there's no electricity in my village, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe like there's an accident somewhere and someone ran in a phone post or something. But you know, well, we are still waiting for Mike to be ready for the roundtable discussions, and I figured why not try to do something different. And,
You'll be waiting a long time.
well, it's okay. I figured why not do the squash club conversation and have a little talk between us.
Yes.
You've got almost all of the squash bucklers here.
Yeah, that's awesome, and thank you again.
Missing?
And
Lynn's missing.
yeah, she's got the invite, so.
Well, I think Lynn said something about going out with some girlfriends, or was that Lindsay? That was Lindsay.
Yeah,
Lindsay's back. She has no excuse now. Thanks,
Yeah, we're stuck with Jack, but that's okay.
Under the box.
Let's see if I can put this somewhere. Stop.
So are you running a generator to be able to do this live stream?
No, I'm running on this light here.
Oh.
Dollar cord, and I have a candle here.
You're just pedaling underneath the desk.
It's here. It's
That's
enough.
it. We're going off the grid.
Perfect. And I had about 33% of battery on my cell phone before we started, and I am down to 24%. So you got
This will be a short life.
You want to borrow my booster? Here. Hand that to him, would you?
with the best bar. Let's see. So, yeah, I had a few questions, and we're just going to go around and discuss a little bit about the homesteading life in general. I know with everything going on, I'm not talking about tonight, but I mean the cost of food going up. There's probably going to be a lot more people interested in doing some homesteading life. So my first question for you all would be, well, when it comes to your turn, you can say who you are quickly and explain your homestead. And the question is, what's the one thing that you love the most about homesteading, and what's the one thing that you hate the most? We can start with Claude.
I like everything about homesteading, and I hate everything about it because you're sore afterwards.
That's it.
Love-hate relation. But truly, I love gardening. I like to take care of everything at my own pace. When I'm rushed, that's where I sort of dislike it, really. So that would be that.
Tracy.
Your phone, your mic is off, Tracy.
It's off grid, yeah.
What don't you like, though? We're supposed to say what we don't like also, right?
Both. Like and dislike.
So. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Okay. I like the freedom. I everybody's going crazy because prices are up and everything. I'm doing the pantry challenge and I've actually saving money. Hey, power!
Looks like it's back.
That's
Keep
it.
going. I'll
We're
go
going.
downstairs.
Yeah, keep pedaling. You're doing a good job.
I was thinking we're not even going to get to me because you're phone's gonna die before we get here.
Good, Anthony.
I like to talk. What can I say? But yeah, it's the freedom to be able to set my own itinerary and really have that freedom to try new things is what I love about it most. And then what I dislike about it is the freedom to set my own itinerary and do what I want, because there's nobody to blame it on if I mess it up.
Yeah. I guess I'll go next. I love everything about it. Even on the hard days, I would say, because we're pretty much working for ourselves. We're building a homestead currently. The only thing I think I don't like about it, and it's not even homesteading related, it's more we're so far from family and friends that we were used to seeing all the time, but they come up to visit, and I think we have more quality time with that. But it's still on the daily. You don't just pop into your old friend's house, or I can't just, all the kids are at least 3 hours or more away, so that's hard. But I think I've always wanted to be out here, so I just make time for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I love everything about it.
Well, I like working from home, working for myself. The downside is that my boss can be a real a-hole sometimes. So I gotta live with that guy. But yeah, it's getting up every morning, going to something you're not liking doing is just a horrible thing, week in, week out, and living for the weekend. And I've done enough of that. And some people spend their whole life doing that. So I'm glad to be not doing that now.
Yes.
Amen to that.
We lost Remy. We lost our host.
And we all mixed up now.
He left his pedaling.
Yeah.
Darren?
For me, I love basically everything about it. I love the fact that we don't have to go to the grocery store for meat. We can go downstairs, grab food, go to the freezer, grab our food. The fact that we can raise so much of it is just, to me, it's just unreal to be able to do that. What I don't like is the bugs. I don't like bugs. So going out to garden or going out to deal with the cows or do projects and I have to deal with bugs at the same time, I don't like that.
No.
Forgot about that. Thank you.
The other thing I miss is a bit of traveling. So there's still places I want to see that I haven't seen, and would still like to do that. And trying to find someone to watch the homestead that you actually trust is a hard one.
There, I'm back. I'm hoping I'm back.
Yes, someone in the chat said
Very
charge your
right,
phone.
Yeah, as soon as I started going downstairs to come to my computer room, my internet stopped because my cell phone doesn't catch internet downstairs if I don't have the Wi-Fi on. So I lost everything, and I'm like, oh shit. All right.
Are you
Keep
done,
going.
Darren?
Yeah, that's basically it.
For my part, what I like is the reward of our hard labor. I can just go out in the garden and just harvest some food, do some dinner. And I just remember when I said to one of my neighbors that I was running out of house to go get huge basil leaf to add to the pizza we do every Friday, and how I miss it during the colder months because I don't have fresh big leaf basil. So it's like the reward of all of that in the freedom of being able to stay home. On the flip side, it's a 7 days a week. There's no, when everyone says, oh, it's Friday, we're going to have fun, we're going to party.
Yeah.
No, there's not that. The isolation, being a solo homesteader, being in the country. Some people tell me I live in China. Some people tell me that they have to get a passport to get to my house, but they live an hour and 15 minutes away from my house, but they still feel like they need a passport. But anyways, and I guess weeding and the bugs. Those are the things I hate.
Okay, so my turn. For me, what I like is mostly knowing what I eat
True.
from the garden, from the rabbits. I don't know which rabbit I eat, but mostly. And what I don't like is the work that comes with. I mean, I like to have rabbit poop in the garden, but I dislike having to rake them every week,
Mhm.
put in the compost, put it somewhere, and having to get each morning, each night, getting them water and food. And yeah, I'm a lazy gardener, a lazy
We
homesteader,
all are
and
a little bit, I think.
I think it's
That's
smart.
it.
a big
Love having
phone
the
on me,
chickens, hate
everything.
watering them.
Mhm.
So I missed a little bit. Is that everyone?
Yeah.
Did everyone answer? Okay.
But
I'm just gonna say a quick hi to CR. Renz is here, obviously on the panel. Sarah's here. Dave, CR again. Marshall Warden, Gary with Pathways, Homestead. I think that's everyone that I see here, and the rest is probably all of you watching on the side. So yeah, I was coming out of the shower, going in the living room, and the only daughter I have that didn't know she can sing, was in the living room singing, and it's like, okay, she knows how to sing too. Like, she's just a little bit more shy, but she's got talent. And we were trying to listen to her because it was a karaoke song on the TV, and my three girls were singing, and it's just like, okay, let's try to hear her a little bit more. And then suddenly, boom, everything went black, just like 10 minutes before the live stream.
You got the
But-
whole Van Trapp family going on there.
Right?
Like,
They can learn to
eventually, it'll be
harmonize.
like Jackson 5,
Yeah.
like just Arsenal 5. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, they could, because
Full
the
band.
voice boxes were all made in the same factory, so they should be able to harmonize and sync with each other.
That could be rich. That could be my way out. That could be
Yeah.
my way out.
Manage the 5. Yeah.
Arsenos, it's a bit long. You could probably
Yeah.
shorten it to arses.
Yeah. Ours, okay.
The hard arses.
Yeah, we're all talking squash, and Hickory is not here. I sent an invite to Stephanie, and she didn't reply, so maybe she didn't see my message. They're pretty busy down there, so.
Is there a
Helen's
time of
on.
year that they're not busy? I
Yeah.
keep hearing them saying we're
This-
busy.
This season, they're not too busy, but they're
Yeah.
still busy.
Yeah, well, it's true because like I never stop, but then it just gets busier.
Yeah, like we always think that we're out of whatever we're doing and we're done, and then suddenly it's like, oh no, something else. It's always one after another. All right, so my next question is maybe a little bit more complex, and Patrick, it kind of sucks to be you because you're first. If you could speak to the following generation, the next generation, about the homesteading life, what's the one thing you would like to tell them?
Make it good, Patrick.
You can think.
all the IDs.
Don't, F up, I mean, be careful what you do for the next, that's what I'm trying to do right now. I think that's what I would do, like, don't mess up too much. Try to leave things better than they were, sort of thing, as per nature and all that, I guess that's what we're talking about. But definitely it's, you guys know me, it's all about consumption. So whatever you do consume around the house, like wood and stuff like that, you have to be smart about all that, not deplete everything at first, eat the eggs, don't eat the chicken, sort of thing, So that's what I guess I would have to say is, be perpetual, until you pass. Yeah.
So Remy, can you repeat the question? I had an ADD attack. Right as you were saying it.
If you could speak to the next generation, the younger ones that are not quite there yet, if they wanted to homestead, what would be like first advice you would give them?
Got it.
Yeah.
I answered the right question. I think I would tell them, take pride in your work, and whether you're religious or not, look for the underlying systems and pathways that God placed here, and work with it. And I think you'll eventually stumble on success. And don't let your mistakes be a bad thing. Make them a good thing. Learn from them. Repeat them as necessary, but try to learn from them.
So for me, our whole channel was created for our first grandson at the time. We have 3 total now. And we're documenting it. We started documenting it, I should say, to show them that if you want to do something and you put your mind to it and you continue with that, eventually, whether there's hard times, good times, whatever, it'll all be a success. And so I'm trying to instill in them, gardening, raising animals. I never had that kind of upbringing. My children never had that kind of upbringing. But now I see, even with my kids who are all in their 20s, I see them, thinking outside the box. And I want that generation and my grandchildren's generation to know that it's okay to do so. And homesteading these days tends to be outside the box. And a lot of people think, that it's crazy. Why would you live so far away from everything? My mom sometimes tells me, especially the last year, because I've been accident prone, like, what happens if, a bigger accident happens and you're not close to a hospital? And I'm like, well, you do what you got to do. So going against the grain's okay. And I'm sure by the time my grandkids are in their 20s, it's going to be completely against the grain. But I want to show them what hard work can do if you put your mind to it. So that's it.
Awesome. Great answer.
Well, that's better than mine. I was going to say, don't follow the rules too much. There's a lot of things that are getting in the way of being able to live like this, and it's only getting worse. So find the loopholes, find the way to do it anyways. Make it happen as best you can. I would also say that maybe weeding seems like it should be optional, but it ain't. You got to do it. And I relearn that every year.
Awesome. True.
Yeah.
Me?
Yep.
Pull your pants up. Quit crying. Get to work. It's only going to get harder. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Get your hat straight, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a hate crime.
Don't be afraid to fail. You learn from it.
Yep.
If we can all do it, the next generation can do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Most
wasn't
of us
born
are
to
in
it. Yeah.
our mid 30s. I mean, some of us are younger or a bit older, but I'm 45 and I probably should have started this at 20. So maybe that's the piece of advice I give. Start now.
Darren, you done?
Yep.
Okay, so I was going to say that don't let your current situation stop you from trying, even if it's on a smaller scale. Window seal, balcony, whatever you have to do to get your hands dirty. Don't let others influence you. Don't let the words of others influence you. Like, say, oh, you don't like it, or like they're thinking. If you want to do it, just do it. Don't be afraid to fail, because it's through failure that you're going to grow. It's through failure that you're going to learn. And it's through failure that you're going to get better. And the saying of Luke from Am I Gardener, grow big or go home. So do what you got to do. Don't listen to others. Listen to your heart and grow food that you enjoy. Eating it, obviously.
Geez, I've been listening to you for way too long.
Why?
I'm going to change my answer to listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Exactly.
I'm still sticking with mine. Pull your pants up and get to work.
Especially that pull your pants up, because I see the teens today, their pants are so low. I just want to pass next to them and just like
Youths.
I have a trick for that. If you, I don't even know if I want to say. I think I have before. But my son, when he was, I don't know, 14 to 15, he used to walk around with his pants and I could see his butt crack. And I'd always tell him, pull your pants up. And he'd like pull them down further to, taunt me like, hey, I'm not listening to my mom. So I started putting my pants that way. Quickly pulled his pants up.
So I thought you were going to sew it to his shirt.
No, I don't know what that's considered these days.
Well, you can't put the sewing machine on it when he's wearing it, but
No. I think it lasted all of like 2 days, and all of a sudden I was like, I don't see him with this. I didn't ever bring it up to him again. He just stopped doing it.
Good.
Marilyn.
Well, I was going to say like what Angie said before. Start now, start young, when you have energy to do it. After that, when everything is built, it will be easier. But also start slow if you want. Like if you're like me, you're starting everything at once, you will never finish anything.
True.
So just start one part and go bigger after that.
Yeah, you have to know
don't be
yourself.
discouraged by all the things you can do.
True.
But
Because if you start to do everything on the first year, you're gonna get discouraged really fast.
yeah, you will
Yeah,
burn
put your
out
pants on
right
your
there.
own terms, sort of thing.
That's really good advice that I don't think anyone follows. I
Yeah.
think everyone
Yeah.
just does whatever
That's
they
one I
want.
forgot.
Yeah.
Darren, you should do a video with your your funny videos with the bring your pants up and put your hat on.
with a big chocolate stain in the back of your boxers.
Because I mean, Angie, you said that anyone, if we're doing it, anyone can do it. But then again, I remember a few lives ago, maybe up to a year ago, we were talking about how we learned from our grandparents mostly, and our parents kind of didn't do any of that stuff. And then we're doing it, and our kids don't really seem like they want to do it. So we're mostly talking to our grandkids or, the younger generation. And I think it's important to remember that the stuff can be forgotten, and we need, like, we're helping because we're putting the stuff out there. And it's important for the people to know that on YouTube, there's a lot of stuff. Of course, everything is not going to work out for you, but if you can take a little bit of everything, advice of everyone, you can do some great things. And my best advice would be start from square one thing at a time. I mean, I started 3 years ago. I had a 6x8 garden, and I grew 1,600 pounds of food this year. So, one step at a time will get you far.
See, I'm lucky at least so far. My daughter seems interested in the farm stuff. She's got a little notebook for farm planning. She's telling me what she's going to do with the back field. I have my own plans, but she doesn't care. She's got plans for that back field already. And she wants to set up a roadside stand. And I told her the younger she does it, the more money she'll make. She'll be a lot cuter. She'll clean up on that road if she does it now. So maybe she'll sell pumpkins this year or something.
Well,
she can sell my stuff.
I'll say this too. When we first moved up here, like my kids are city kids. They're very much city kids. But my son maybe not so much. But anyways, you don't realize when you go off and do something, whether it's homesteading or another area altogether. Like I see the little things right now. I hear my son and my daughter both saying they want to live in the country. I hear the other two saying that they want quiet neighborhoods. They've started gardening. They call me for their gardening questions like, what's happening with my tomato plant? So it's nothing like they're owning a homestead right now, but it's those little seeds that you plant that eventually they'll grow, right? And so I see it more with the grandkids where, like you were saying, my grandparents, they built their own house. It was never my dream to build our house, but it was my dream to have something similar to what they did. And so my mom and my dad, when I was, growing up, they were both had to work. And so, all of everything, they did instill certain things into us, but we weren't raised in a way where our grandparents were raised too. And so if we can end, or if I'll say for me, if I can end up here not being raised that way, so can, you know what I mean? Like other people can too, but I think there has to be some kind of interest for them. And I think a lot of the generation today is also seeing things a little bit differently, because when they hear stories like, for example, when I was 20 years old, I was out on my own, and a lot of the kids today can't afford that. And so they're looking to alternative ways too. And they may not be, again, the big grand homestead and wanting property, but just the little things to make them think outside the box too.
Oh, so you have all the girls down and the boys up, and
except for Jack.
I like what you said there, Angie. It's to me, it's like the pre-concept thinking. Like, oh, you have to be poor to be homesteading. Well, I don't think so.
no,
You have to be this way because you're doing this way. Like grow your own food. You must be something because of something. So
everyone
years
starts
ago-
with a different background.
Yeah. Years ago, my daughter told me, she says, "You guys, you're not striving for anything. You're so content." And I'm like, "Well, thank you. That's a good thing."
That's what I was striving for.
Yeah, money is nothing. I mean, you've got to have it in this day and age, but there's going to come a time soon. I posted a meme on my community tab today that said the $100 bill is the new 20. And it's true. It's going downhill fast.
I went to the grocery store earlier, and a small can, just a little tiny, sandwich size, where you can make 2 sandwiches of chicken, ham, or whatever. It's like $9.
What?
Or on sale for 2 for $10.
What?
It's ridiculous.
Like a can of meat?
Yeah, like the ones that are
In a
like
can?
Harry Potter?
big.
Or potted meat.
Yeah, the ones that are supposed to be 60 cents.
Yeah, like chicken and ham. I'm not talking about the cordon bleu there. The little ones are a little bit cheaper, but like a little bit thicker.
Yeah, like a tuna can.
Yeah, those ones.
Chicken flake ham.
I think they were on sale for 2 for $9, and I think like one of them is like $10.
I picked them up just before we moved on to the property. They were like, I think they were like $2 and change, and they were on sale for $1. That's crazy to me. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll sell you some, Remy. I got
I'll hook you up.
I'll hook you up.
Well, it's a weird time
$3.
because money in the bank is worth less and less, and it's going to continue that way. If you
Yeah.
have something, infrastructure to make your own food, it's going to be worth more and more. So spend your money, put it into
Just
something.
the food you bought 6 months ago is better than today. It's like you saved on that. Through that, Jack.
So I'm intrigued by this comment. What do you guys think? Do you think if you were able to start your kids earlier, that maybe things would have been different?
No.
I mean, Michael, you have no kids, but if you
Well,
were,
I mean, from my point of view, kids, being a kid, when I was 15, like
you didn't care.
your son, I didn't. I mean, I was working at the garden center. I had no choice, but I was not enjoying it. So now, when I got out of my parents' house that I was beginning to enjoy it, to really know. I was planting what I wanted. I was the planner. I was the doer, not my parents. So maybe when they will be independent, they will start liking it.
Well, that's what happened with me. Like I think I always had a fairy tale version, you know, of living it life out in the country, and but it wasn't until 2015 that I was like, this is a dream of mine and I really want it. And we had no idea. I'd always kind of looked for a house in the country, but it was never serious. And I'd say probably 2-3 years prior to 2015, that's when the seed, I guess, started blooming in my brain. And I was like, I want a garden. Up until then, all my gardens were, I did not have a green thumb. All my gardens were dead. I couldn't grow nothing. And now it's completely different. And I think I started seeing, especially when I was raising the kids, when we had our family and everything together, I started seeing my grandparents. Oh, this was a story I'll never forget. My mom canned a little bit. Long story short, went to my grandparents and they had a cold cellar, and they had 50-pound bags of potatoes and 50-pound bags of onions. And I think I was like 21 at that time, at the time of the seeing my grandparents. Anyways, I remember thinking that they were crazy for having that much potato and onions for 2 people. And I didn't see it until, you know, I started living the lifestyle a little bit more. But you don't realize, like, I remember looking at my grandma going, why would you have that much for you and Papa? Like, why? Let's just buy a 10-pound bag at the grocery store. That was my mentality. And now it's completely different. Now I see why they did it, but sometimes that, you know, it just hits later.
I think a lot of people are going to get interested very quickly when they get hungry.
Yes.
So
I was
that's
going to say
that's
that.
going to change.
Like my kids, when I started, they were very young. They're not interested. Like they're semi-interested, but they don't like. I keep telling them, like, if you want to learn, I'm going to show you how I do it. Here's the end result. So whatever you do, how do you do it? I just want the same end result. And they don't like it too much. So I just let it go. I'm going to see maybe later on. But you never know. As they get older, if they are in a crunch where they have trouble paying their rent, paying their mortgage, paying their food, they might start it maybe for the wrong reasons at first, but it's going to feed them and they're going to find something that they enjoy in it, obviously, because they're going to keep doing it. But they're going to see that I was doing it because I wanted to feed us with better quality food and save money. But now they're way too young to understand the concept. Maybe later they'll understand. But it's never too late to sow a seed.
No.
Also, we always want to do everything except what our parents want us to do.
True.
Because my dad is the expert. What I want to do my own errors. I want to learn by myself, not by what he's telling me to not plant so much tomatoes and plant them further apart, and what I want to try before. Then,
I want to do it.
yes.
And you said something about the kid will find what they like, and that's a thing. I think that's what my kid happened with my kids. You know, one likes animals, the other one like the processing of the garden stuff. You know,
Yep.
So we try to encourage that, but there's no way they're going to be in the garden at the same time as me.
You're in your garden at 6:00 in the morning. They're probably sleeping in.
That point.
The sun is still sleeping in.
Only the raccoons are supposed to be in the garden at that time.
Right.
True.
I fought my dad, and my dad fought me to get me into the gardening. Not interest. He didn't care if I was interested or not. I was going to do what he needed me to do, because that's just the way it was. Weeding, I hated weeding, still do to this day, but I do it now without a big fight and argument for the most part. And
For the most part.
for the most part.
With yourself.
And then there came a day where I took him down. He had had his stroke, and I took him down on the 4-wheeler. I lived just down the road from him in Port Leyden, and I took him down to see my garden, and I had cherry tomatoes growing up the fence, and he wanted me to start the wheeler for him. He kept, telling me he wanted to. I said, "Pa," I said, "okay, but I'm going to control the gas." I said, "You can steer it, but I'm going to control the gas," because we didn't know at that time how much he really had left of retention. So he basically pulled up to my fence and started popping my cherry tomatoes in his mouth with a big old grin in his face. I loved that.
Did
It
you
was
ask
like-
him to weed?
No.
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 Should have.
One
He
step at a
probably
time.
would have.
Right. Spam is the new currency.
And the spam, yeah.
That was like spam.
Man, between eggs and cans of meat, I'm rich.
Right?
It's eatable.
Spam. It's
Jack, Darren.
I'm wondering sometimes if it's actually meat.
Oh, it's not.
I
They
have
boil the
a
sludge.
book. I have a book that has the recipe to make spam.
Mm. Num 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 num.
It's okay if you don't share it.
No need to share.
It is. It's actually just pork and fat. To
Mm.
I'm
need
sure
the whole
homemade
pork.
spam
Yeah.
is fine, but the one that's in the store,
Yeah.
that's
still-
the one I would question just a little.
yeah. Well, it was created to during the Depression.
True. During the war, no? Or after the war?
Yeah, during the war. I'm not sure if it was World War I or World War II, but it was made to have a cheap, viable meat that would get the nutrition out to the people and that would be shelf stable to get to the soldiers. I never got spam when I was in the Army, which it was fine with me.
Yeah. As far as kids being interested or not interested, I think maybe I'm just pessimistic, but I think a lot of them are going to have to get interested to some degree.
Yeah.
True.
Things are just getting more expensive, so they have to figure something out. Be rich some other way then, but
That's
got to
awesome.
go one way or the other.
It's a whole new mindset. I mean, I used to tell kids at youth group all the time, you'll never get rich working for someone else, and you know what? You'll never be totally. You'll never be as satisfied with the food you eat as you are when you grow it. It's just, and when you have that ability and you got that plate sitting in front of you and you know where everything came from, it's just awesome.
I don't know. I ate one of our zucchinis once, and it was pretty gross. It was kind of spongy.
What'd you say?
I ate one of our zucchinis, and it was like solid in the middle. I wouldn't say that was very satisfying.
I know about those zucchinis.
Yeah.
No comments.
Yeah.
Darren, got anything to add?
My kids are like, I think between growing up with the internet and my brother and sister who both live in the city. One's a starving artist. The other one's, I forget what she does, but she does math. And
She tells me every time she's here. I don't know.
yeah, no, she's got the big house and all that sort of stuff. And my brother's, in downtown Toronto. So all the kids kind of look at them like, oh yeah, that's the kind of life. And so I just lead by example kind of thing. And like, hey, I don't have to worry about going into the store now and buying $44 chickens and that sort of thing. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. I just hope
Oh, and,
my kids. Oh, sorry. Go for
I'm
it.
3 subscribers away from 400. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Go for it.
Nice.
But I just hope my
Anyone
kids gonna
listening
like
wants to
it.
Tip that over. I'm also 103 away from 500. So if there's a lot of people watching,
Ren's homestead.
You were saying, Patrick?
Oh, I was just saying, I hope my kid's gonna do like I did. Like I was sort of brought up and doing things like that when I was younger. I didn't like it much, but I didn't mind it. Then I'm here today and I'm doing it. So I just hope they're gonna at least do that, perhaps, or maybe they won't have to. But I'm with Jack on that. They probably will have to.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky long enough that maybe we're gonna have to, like you said.
And you guys think that the way that things are going now, that people are gonna be pushed that way, even if they don't want to, they're gonna have to go that way?
I think some people will still be in denial and hope that, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. It's going to come back. Like, right.
It will,
But I think they'll get weeded out quick. They really will.
It's like everyone says, gas is going to go back at $1.12 a liter. I'm like, hell no.
No.
So we went to the squash to the doom here.
Yeah.
It's
hard to say because, like, my parents, when they were buying their house and going through stuff, they were dealing with Sparkly Socks' dad, and he was doing the same to Canada that so-and-so is doing now. And they got through it, but it's like, it takes a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of money.
To move on? When's our next election? Maybe we can hope and celebrate for that.
They're talking about maybe this fall or the next one. So.
Oh God.
Wait, it's not already like every 4 years or 6 years or something?
4 years will be next year.
We'll deal with it off screen. I'll bring you up to speed.
Off screen.
Don't go that rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll want to have it all these full hours,
But I do believe that there's going to come a time when people are on their way home and they stop at the store to pick up dinner and it won't be there. There might be something
we already
there,
see it with eggs.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it with dairy for a bit there. It's already happening.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Well, people are
I don't know, like
already.
My children, 2 of them live about 45 minutes east of Toronto, and the rent that they have to pay sickens me just for rent. And my daughter's on her own, and my son, him and his soon-to-be wife, they have a place together, but they have really good rent there at where he is. They won't leave it, even though they want to venture out because of how much they're paying. And they want to leave the area because it's not the best area. But it's like, where do you go? My daughter was looking at moving more out this way, and even out this way, it's still very expensive. So how I can't fathom, because right now, like, we have my income, we don't have a mortgage, we have a truck payment and a couple of bills. And we're not broke by any means, but if I had to pay mortgage or rent right now on top of it, I don't know how they're doing it. I really, truly don't. And that saddens me.
Yeah. We have people already going around and in the middle of the night trying to rob people's sheds. Like, things are getting desperate and dangerous quick. When people get hungry and have bills to pay, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
And we're seeing more and more people like stealing. And I mean, right here in my little village, a couple of days ago, they posted a video where you see the guy, you see his face, you even see him going out with the food that he stole to his car, and you see the logo of his mother's company. It's like, man, how do you think you're not going to get caught? Like, but you see everything. He takes the food, takes it to like the other aisle where he thinks he's not going to be seen, and then he goes, comes back, takes the food and puts it in a jacket. Like, I get caught, man.
I just watched something the other day. It was an interview, and it was with I can't remember their title, but you know those people that watch if you're shoplifting. What are they called?
Security.
Something, but they're undercover. You can't
Yeah.
see them. You don't know that you think they're a shopper. They are arresting or catching people, a lot of seniors, which that's just heartbreaking. And that is like just a couple hours away from me in a town. And they said the seniors that they cry and they're like, I have no choice. I have no food.
Yeah. My mom is on Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. She is on that, what do they call it? The safety net, 100%. Social Security will give her a raise for cost of living, and Medicaid, Medicare take it. And to help pay for her medical bills and stuff. And the thing is with these kind of safety nets, everyone is equal, but they're equally poor, unfortunately, because it always brings you down to the lowest common denominator. And it's sad. If you need anything, knock on my door and ask me. I will help you as much as I can.
Yeah.
If you steal from me, I got 20 acres and a shovel. I couldn't say that. That was a joke.
I got a manure pile and pigs.
Well, you know,
So grow more squash is what we're saying. I think.
Exactly.
Yes, you have to grow squash and potatoes.
Yeah.
It's a joke, but at the same time, I mean, who's not going to defend their property? Like, I'm not saying I would hurt anyone that bad, but
Right.
I won't be as mad at you.
That bad.
I won't be as mad at you if you come to me and ask me for food. Look, I'm hungry. I need some food. Can you help me out? Sure,
Right.
buddy. Come in. I'll
They're
feed you.
ashamed.
Well, you have to think those seniors, like in the baby boomers, I guess, those guys, they would rather go hungry than ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
They
back
would
to my
rather
grandmother
steal
who
than
was
ask.
in an apartment, and this was years ago, before she passed away. And it's even at that time, years ago, rent continued to go up, food prices continued to go up. She was on basically whatever the government gave her, and she wasn't getting a raise from the government for the old age pension. It was. And I know there was times when my mom, my aunt, and my uncles and all that would go out and do a grocery shopping for her just to be able to stock her pantry with stuff because she couldn't.
Yeah. If someone
I can't imagine anyone elderly right now on old age pension trying to make ends meet.
Yeah. Defending yourself and stuff. If someone comes here, I got means to defend, but really, not really. I'm by myself. First of all, if there's 6-7 people comes here, take whatever you want, man. I ain't gonna do much. So it's hard to defend something and think about defending like as much as you want to. You can do booby traps, and everything, but really, if someone wants it,
well, think about it. Is an armload of onions and potatoes worth someone's life?
No.
You've got to put it in perspective. You have to answer these questions to yourself now. Whatever answers you come up with are great for you, but you need to answer these questions now, so that when that moment comes, you know what you can do. You know what you're willing to do. It would be really hard. Will I defend my life? Absolutely, 100%. Will I defend my property? To a point. Will I defend if somebody's taking food? And things are going to get worse because the population is shrinking. We are at the point where there are not enough people and I'm in the States, but there aren't enough people in the working class, in the younger class, coming into the job arena to support the people who are getting ready to retire. So it is going to get worse. These safety nets are going to collapse. And it's scary. And we just need to help and to do what we can to help each other as much as we can. And like I said, man, on a larger channel like Remy's, hey, if you need help, ask. I'll do everything I can.
Definitely.
A working force. McDonald came up with a first automated station. Basically, no people work there whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of scary, but at the same time, it sort of filled the gap of what you're saying here.
Yeah, well, here we lack people working. Like, I go to Tim Hortons to get a coffee on Sunday at 3:00 in the afternoon. It's closed because it closed at 2. They lack personnel, or they don't
Young
open
people
before.
don't want to work.
Well, they were given
It's-
$2,000.
I don't get it.
It-
How do they afford to live?
I look at some of my kids and they're like, come on, guys. Like, really? That's what you're complaining about for having to do at work? Like,
Ask them to weed. They'll go to their job.
Well,
Yeah.
New York, we just increased the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and they still can't get my order right.
Yeah, money don't buy everything.
No.
Yeah, but that's the wage there. You know, the kids nowadays, they go to about $15 an hour, and the people who've been there for about 20 years is still like have 17, maybe 20 sometimes. So that's sort of a bummer for everybody.
Well,
You don't
yeah,
think-
The kids.
Thinking of this, I was like under $10 an hour when I started working. When I was a waitress, I was paid $7 an hour, or lower than that.
Yeah, you just said your age there without saying it.
Okay.
The cost of living is
No, but true. But I was making being a waitress, you make a lot of tips, so your salary is lower.
Mm.
And if let's just say that my company never gave me a raise and I kept the salary I had 6 years ago, I would not even be able to live on my own or even buy a house.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had a great salary.
the worst part for some of us, you guys have probably seen it, is even if you get it like a raise, the government takes it away in taxes. It's like, why is my paycheck lower this year?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, they give you 3%. Like usually when I used to work, there's 2.9% raise to cover inflation.
That's it.
And then the inflation was more than 3% every single year.
Yeah.
Right.
So you still had the same bills. Every single bill had inflations. So you end up having less money. And like you said, we were taxed more because our salary bracket changed.
Mm-hmm.
When I got my new job back in 2014, I was making $1 an hour more, making precisely $4 less on my paycheck. Why am I getting punished for getting like more responsibilities and like a higher classified job?
Yeah.
When are you gonna get it back at the end of the year? Yeah, but I need it now. Not
They
in
should
the
pay us in chickens.
So, Ram, do you have any happy questions?
yeah.
It's
like
depressing, right? Okay,
What's going to be the thing that kills us all?
this one, skip.
Yeah.
You're going to have to put chapters in this one, Rem.
Well, my next question was going to be, what's the one thing that you know you will always need help with on the homestead? Whether it's from your spouse, one of your kid, one of your friend, you know, on a regular basis that you need someone to come over and help you with.
Can you say that again? I missed the first part. I was
What's
reading
the
the
one
comments.
thing on your homestead that you know you'll always need help with?
You're sure you want the list?
Just one. Just one.
Oh, just
Like
one. Oh,
one major
great.
thing, just to help viewers, you know, if they want to start, what's the one thing they should at least prepare? Like, you know, if you start doing this, you'll need help every year because you need someone to help you do this. Whether it's
Where do I start?
Wow.
For me, it's motivation. For me, it's motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Motivation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's that simple for all of you guys. Damn, I gotta come up with more questions.
Well,
Well,
Having someone there just to, be able to share the workload.
Yeah.
Everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything, anything, nothing. Anytime, like
Pick me up when I'm down. Slap me
Yeah.
in the face
Yeah.
when I'm sleeping. And
Mine
the butt.
is so every like I wake up early, but I have a hard time getting out of bed. And it's just like I just want to hit snooze. And so
I have that problem too, but
yeah.
not for the same reason.
Mike, every
You're a
single
newlywed.
morning, every single morning, Mike makes a pot of coffee and then he makes my coffee. And he's like, coffee's made. And it's like, I'm up. And then I can start my day. So on an everyday basis, that, having that someone there, I think, is the one thing that I'll always need. And plowing. I don't drive that tractor. I don't plow. Mike can plow.
I like the fact that we have each other and we're able to help each other with everything. But I also like the fact that both of us are independent. So if one of us is away, the other one has no problem doing, Bridget has no problem driving the tractor, lifting the round bales, snow blowing the driveway. She can take care of that. So I don't have to worry. But it is so awesome having someone else that, you can switch back and forth.
Yeah. I'm going to mirror or echo or steal your answer and say that it's helpful that, on a given day, Lindsay could do all the stuff. I could do all the stuff. Long term, it'd be hard to keep going like that. Basically impossible. But it is very handy that we can just do what needs to be done.
Yeah. When Trevor comes up to when we do firewood together and stuff, I could do it alone. I can do it alone, but just having that somebody there, and then for the dangerous stuff like dishes, that I would love to have somebody that would do the dishes. I don't mind putting them away.
You know what my danger was? Getting dressed.
Oh, that's right.
I was standing in front of this stove and there's a table and then a walkway. And I was standing here and the big dog walked by and knocked me into that. And I landed like my whole body was going for it. So I decided put my hand down. And then I had to quickly take it off. And then I grabbed the chimney, which was hot too. So I got burns all up here, all here. I mean, it's healing really good.
That was...
You got something wrong with your hand there.
Your whole palm was a bubble.
Is it the other hand or the same hand?
No, it's the other one. So
Ouch.
You got both hands.
All right here, and then this one's the burn hand.
Poor
Ouch.
Mike.
Yeah.
So I guess you would need 2 hands.
Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely.
Yeah. I'm gonna steal Jackson Darren's. Having someone to help you there, that's gold. For everything, because
Just
I don't
in
know
general,
tasks, but mainly with Tracy as well, making wood. It's one thing to do it alone, but 2, like it's perfect. 1, it's the end of the world.
And Corinne, that's your K, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, "Animal. If you want to go, if I want like going to the homesteading conference this spring." My sorry.
Is that your cat?
My nephew's gonna have to come stay at the homestead to take, I mean, he doesn't have to be here 24/7, but to help me take care of things. And it's just hard. I'm very, very lucky to have nieces and nephews the way I do. They are awesome.
How long are you coming for? I know you're coming for the conference, but how long's your trip?
Oh, I'm staying forever.
I snuck one American in. I can get another one here.
I guess I'm the only one that didn't answer. No, Marilyn didn't answer. No, did you? No, you did.
I was the first.
I am a solo homesteader, so any help that I can receive, I would take it on a daily basis. I have lists that has lists, and I have like to-do list that never ends. And if I'm not organized, I have like a calendar, and then I have, just in case my calendar disappears or my kids play with it, I have a second list just to be sure. And I never get done everything I'm supposed to get done in a day. So help on any level would be amazing. Especially the transplanting season. I have to transplant and sow so many things on the 30th of April, I think. And I have a lot to transplant around the 25th and the 5th of June. So
Hint for anybody listening.
hint. So if ever anyone wants to get their hands dirty and at the end of the season get a couple of tomatoes and peppers, you're more than welcome to come transplant or harvest if you want.
Yeah, Angie, to answer your question, I was thinking of coming up Thursday and coming back Monday, depending on how long you guys will put up with me. And would it be possible? I might have my brother with me and a friend of mine with me. Do you think we could have room for them too? I don't know if we're staying in the cottage or Angie's or
we'll put you in the bunkie.
Okay.
With Dave.
Snores?
Yes, because he snores. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You have room for Mike and I. We're not gonna leave. Everyone's gonna be there.
Right.
Right. Out on the floor.
Oh, this last year, I didn't think we could top last year, but the way it's going now, it's gonna be even better this year.
Yeah.
I hope I can figure out a way to sleep in one night. I hope so.
Won't let you go,
now.
so
Not impossible.
yeah, we won't let you go. So
you're gonna tie me down?
Bring your kids.
What happens at the cottage stays at the cottage.
No, I'm not bringing my kids. It's a adult day. If people want to bring their kids, it's their choice. But for me, it's an adult mother, kidless day. I want to be free. I want my mind to be free. I want to be able to to talk to all of you guys, meet new people, chit chat, and I don't want to go where's my kids? Where did they go? Because I am 2.5 hours from home. So,
are you coming too, Jack? Are you guys?
We hope to. We have a lot that we're getting started this spring, so it's a little up in the air because it's going to be a matter of when things time out for. If something gets in the way, something we have to do, then it gets in the way. If we can work it any possible way that it doesn't, then that's where we're going to be.
So potentially all of us here are all going to be at the conference, plus more, but
yeah.
Woohoo! Yep.
Oh, God save Canada. McDonald Corners will never be the same.
It
will be fun.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun last year. For people that weren't there, it was just an amazing experience. The conference was fun. Meeting everyone was it's like we knew each other for forever. I didn't feel I wasn't shy. I wasn't I didn't feel out of place. Everyone was just
you
so
were just
nice.
Scared when I took you back in the forest.
Well, it was
was scary.
Yeah, it's bringing us way back.
I was lost in there.
I think it was worse than the spa, but yeah, I'm just saying.
At some point, Magdalene was like, "If he's to kill us and bury us, what's gonna happen? Be careful." Yeah.
Someone is asking what meetup we're talking about.
Big shout out.
Hi, Cindy.
There is a conference in Ontario on May 6th. It's
Eastern Canada Voyeurs.
Yeah, it's called Eastern Ontario Homesteaders Conference. If you're anywhere nearby, I suggest you look it up. There is some information on Facebook if you look for Eastern Ontario Conference.
Can someone grab the link? I can do that, can I?
Yeah, there's a Facebook page.
There's a group.
I should have done it. I was just on it. There are 389 people following the page, and there are 296 likes so far. So
wow.
It
will be bigger than the last year.
It's probably maybe not double, but for sure be more popular.
Well, I think too, because the what was it? The Agriculture Society is
McDonald.
Yeah.
It's someone that's hosting the event. It's not homesteaders. Like me, Marcy, and the other lady. It's
From
someone
Learning
organizing
Trails
it.
Acres.
Yeah, I can't remember who was the other homesteader that was doing it with her, but it's someone organizing it.
Okay.
And I can't stop from wondering, like, I really think that the fact that all of us on the panel here that were there last year, we all made a video or maybe even a few videos on a conference. I really think that gave a few like more extra people the chance to see what was going on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think
Definitely
it
going to
helped.
be well documented.
And there's also people that want to meet.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
want to come and meet their the channels that they follow.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, Remy, you mentioned meeting everyone and how you're pretty well comfortable and didn't feel that weird. I thought the same thing when I went up and we did the moose hunt.
Yeah.
I didn't find it weird at all. It's weird on paper, but it was fine in actuality. You do feel like you already know the person to a degree, and the only comment you gave was that I was a lot taller than you thought I was going to be. But
and I felt the same way about Chris and Steph. They're both
yeah,
way taller than I thought they were going to be. And Mike and Angie are shorter than I thought they were going to be. But yeah, like it.
Because I have the camera when I film either up like this or down like angles.
I don't know. It's just sometimes you have an idea in your head, and it's like, you imagine the person, and you're gonna see the person and look right there. Or I'm 5'10", and then people keep calling me tall, but I know I'm not that tall. And then I saw Jack, and it's like, oh.
How tall are you, Jack?
6'4".
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's tall.
It's unnerving when I meet someone who's taller than me. Someone 6'6" or above, and they don't have to be much taller than me. Even my same height, it kind of weirds me out. I'm used to seeing the tops of people's heads, so when I'm looking up like this, it's a little unnerving. Is that how I make people feel all the time?
Yes.
And apparently that's what happens. Attacks from above. There's always that danger there.
I'm always in the shortest, and so I always have to look up. So
Yeah.
And I mean, Selge was like what, 5'7", 5'8",
Yeah.
5'6".
Yeah.
There was this huge difference between the both of them. But it's like you said, like, I mean, you arrived, I picked you up at Walmart. Lindsay came out of the truck, gave me a hug right away. Kenzie was like, "Hey, Remy, you're the guy I saw on TV," and it's like, "Oh, cool!" Like, shook hand, and it's like, "Let's go!" Like, it's like we've known each other forever. It's crazy. It's like it happened at the conference.
So I'm the only one who scared you.
Recognize everyone.
what did you say, Darren?
I'm the only one who scared him.
You scared Marie.
When we first met,
I had my little knife during the life.
He was scared in the woods, but not in the hot tub.
No.
The hot tub was special, Darren. Tracy, keep it out of this.
Fear and excitement are very close.
I was so scared to meet Darren the first time he came here. I burnt the lasagna.
You didn't want him back, right?
Don't come back. No. I think Darren was the first because he came before the conference. He was in the area. And so he was the first YouTuber I had met. Well, no, second. I met I can't think of the channel name right now.
Quebec Homestead?
No.
Mallory went there.
Huh?
Mallory went at your place, NG.
No?
Yeah. I discovered you with her. Mallory from Quebec Homestead.
She's never been here.
Not
Darren,
where you are right now at your old place.
No. She did an
visited
interview.
Darren. She visited Darren's greenhouse and filmed.
Yeah, she went to Darren's house. She had me on. She was my first. I think it was my first. This is going back 3 years ago, 2 or 3. My first like, can I have you on our channel? And so we did a live together. I think she was
Okay, maybe
my
then.
first one for that. But
Always remember your first, or you don't.
great.
Sometimes you don't want to remember.
Well, that's just wrong.
That was a happy question.
It was a
Yeah,
happy
let's go
question.
around. Let's talk about that.
I don't remember how. Did we meet Remy through Mallory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Was
think
that it? Or maybe it would have been like on like the Canadian, not the Canadian, but the YouTuber homesteaders page or something like that.
The Homesteaders of Canada.
No, the other page, the American one, the small homesteader community on Facebook.
Okay.
But Mallory was searching for Canadian homesteaders, and she would comment on all of them, and she would kind of like connect with us. And then I connected through Remy, and then Remy connected me to, I can't remember, I think it was Darren. Then
Everybody.
yeah, it was like one after the other. Like I didn't know that you guys existed.
Remy is the glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a few Canadians like Tracy, you know. And it's funny for Tracy because I went on one of his live stream because he was actually sharing his live streams on that same Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I went there for the first time and he was alone. And I felt like, okay, like this guy's alone. Like I'm going to support him. And I ended up chatting with him. Like I was chatting and he was talking to me. There was like maybe me and maybe like 1 or 2 more people on the stream. Then it was just like we connected and stayed friends since.
That was
That's why
back when I was young, and we would talk for an hour or 2 after the stream on StreamYard.
Yeah.
We would stop the live, and then we could talk about anything, and that was
That's why I was so scared to do lives at first, because I was scared to have crickets and talk on my own, like by myself, and like wait.
Get used to it.
True,
And
true.
Someone appears. Oh, hi. Oh, you're gone.
Yeah. Get all excited that you have a
Don't
viewer,
close it.
and then the person leaves.
Keep it open. I don't care if you watch.
is Patrick really frozen or?
Good one.
He really looked frozen for a second. It's like all the pixels and everything was just like. Ugh.
That was pretty good.
It's only water. Don't worry.
I have the same. And it's
And Darren, to be honest, when I left, my girlfriend was like, "Where are
squash.
you going? Like, where are you gonna sleep?" I'm like, "I'm going with Darren." She's like, "You don't even know him." I'm like, Gillian buried you somewhere. Well, honey, here's the address. You like, if I don't get back home or if I don't talk to you, you have his address. That's who he is. Like, you have his picture and everything. Like, you're safe. She was more scared than I was.
the
You know
irony
how-
is that
how
we were
I
told.
was.
Oh, sorry. We were told that online friendship is impossible, and we shouldn't get into people's car that we don't know.
Yeah.
Now we do it all.
I'm not going back in the Darren's truck anyway.
Why?
I'm not going
What did he
back
do in the
there.
What happened in the truck? What
happens
Odin
when
have
the
gas
truck
in the truck.
Should I get a truck or?
A little misadventure that happened on a highway, like not in the highway, but like in the city of Montreal.
Montreal.
The traffic.
Oh, traffic in Montreal is always horrible. Day
Well,
or
the trucks
night.
started heating up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Truck started heating up because I had the fuse blew and the fans.
Oh no.
So driving at 0 kilometers an hour in the hot blazing sun, and yeah.
All
So
the
I
hot
turned,
air from the YouTubers, 6 YouTubers crammed
yeah,
in there.
exactly. So I rolled down the windows and cranked the heat and turned the
Yeah.
fan up, and that worked. But in the cab, we're like,
Fun.
yeah.
And the fuel gauge not working.
Oh no, fuel gauge
You're
hasn't
scared,
worked.
Lynn.
Yeah, Darren likes his old truck. What do you
Yeah.
expect?
No. Empty means full. It's only when it's full that you got to be worried.
Yeah.
No, it could be full. It could be empty. The gauge just goes where it wants. So
Yeah, old pickups. Kay wants me to have a whole pickup. I'm like, yeah. You know those like 70 grand pickup
Yeah.
truck. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, old trucks. But that's
Yep.
not what she's talking about.
government can't shut my truck off.
Yeah.
It might shut
No.
itself off, but the government can't.
That's my goal after
That's so
everything
true.
is done here. I want to get whatever my papa's truck was. I swear it was a GMC, like an old baby blue, bucket seat, just 3 seats in the front.
Baby blue would be Ford, right? No?
That's what my brother said. And I'm like, but I swore it said GMC. But anyways, whatever that truck was, one day I will have it.
With a
That's my
carburetor.
dream. Yeah.
No computer. 6 gallons of gas to the mile. Lynn says that she's scared to stay with Lynn, I'm going to a foreign country, and it will literally be the farthest I've been from my pews ever.
So you still call it a foreign country, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm half honorary Canadian now, but I've got to cross that imaginary line. Hey, do they let you take
No.
No.
Stand here.
what about
No.
No, stand.
multi-tools?
Not
No.
neither.
Multi-tools?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a multi-tool that
Yeah.
has a blade on it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Just make
There's-
sure the blade isn't bigger than your palm.
No, that's only if you're flying.
Oh.
Okay.
If you're driving, you can bring a sword if you want.
Yeah, I think
You'll be
fixed
fine.
blade. It
On
can be as
on the
long as
front
you want.
seat.
No matter what, just be honest.
Yeah.
I've got this little itsy bitsy teeny thing.
That should be fine.
You
Yeah,
can
those
fly
are
with that
the,
one.
the worst for the jiggler, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, it's not the size, it's how you use it.
Not for the rabbits.
What if you use it like it's small?
Oh boy. And
That
that's,
escalated quickly. I was gonna say, I back when Mike and I first met, we met online.
Is this a rabbit story?
No, but it didn't hurt. Wait. Oh,
We're
here we
really
go.
getting to know each other.
And everybody in the world. That's okay.
How many of
imagine
us
with
are,
no camera filter, like with no YouTube filter. Imagine what it's gonna be.
how many people are
Oof.
watching this live?
I don't know, but he's got 2.32 thousand subscribers. So
Okay.
you know.
So you met Mike
We met
online?
online, and then I married him. We got engaged. So we met May 24. We got engaged in July, and we married in January. So like 7 or 8 months later, and some good things happen online. So this can too. And I traveled to the States, and I moved to the States, and the border. I don't know how often you cross it. It can be intimidating, but Mike, you guys all know him, and he used to be one of those guys. He used to be a TSA agent or guard or whatever. So they're just people.
Rough.
I do have a wholesome homestead question that everyone can answer,
Okay.
and it would be what's something new that you're going to be doing this year on the homestead that you're excited about? I'm sure everyone has something.
Yeah, 30 chickens, meat chickens. Well, not meat chickens, but dual purpose for me. So that's a big thing. Otherwise, it's all going to be the same. You know, you don't change the recipe, but that's going to be like 3 coops, 4 coops, and stuff like that. So
I got to remember to keep doing my Brady Bunch. Good answer.
And, my barn has got to be one of the big. My barn and extended I'm putting gardens in other places. So that I'm really excited about that because that's going to allow me to branch out to rabbits and turkeys and meat chickens and.
Ready?
Yes.
High five, Jack.
Stop tickling me, man.
Oh,
Hold on.
left me hanging. There we go.
Everything is
Kids.
happening. Yeah, I know. Everything. We hope the house to be finished.
Everything is
That'll
new.
be new, living in a house and not in a trailer. The garden and the house are the two things that I'm looking forward to. Bedroom, a house, a kitchen,
Bathtub.
Bedroom.
bathtub. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, I've had one bath in a year and a half.
Yeah, I noticed when I came up for.
It wasn't lasagna.
I put my personal touch on that lasagna, Darren.
Num 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 num.
The secret one.
My germs.
So
many
that's
comments.
So that's the secret recipe.
Yes.
Yeah, secret ingredient.
Oh, you
Lovely.
did a video on it.
The crusty
For my
part.
part, there's nothing that's new this year. I'm simply changing up my operation. I'm making everything standard and like trying to use what I've learned on the Académie Patagère, what online training I'm doing. So I'm converting to market garden. So I've already started the conversion and I'm just continuing that this year. And it's mainly just making my system better so that I can maybe work like not less, but like lighten the load.
Smarter.
Yeah, lighten
Are
the
you-
load and work smarter.
Are you going to grow the same as the previous year, just different ways, or?
I'm growing less in the objective of growing more. So instead of growing certain types of tomatoes because of beauty, I'm going to grow tomatoes for production. So I'm really converting to like productivity and market style gardening. And like I'm using varieties that are made for up north, that are tried and true varieties that work for us. And like I'm trying to narrow down, like instead of having like quadrillion varieties of peppers, I want to narrow it down to 10 productive varieties and just like have my tried and true varieties here because I do can a lot of what I grow. So it's mainly that, narrowing down the list so that I don't have like 20 packages of like cherry tomatoes. I only have like 6 because like seed collection is getting big.
Yeah.
Oh, you started buying seeds again?
No, I said I was done ordering seeds.
That's what I was gonna say.
I said I'm done ordering seeds. In 2022, I was done ordering seeds. Now it's a new year.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Actually, I got peas. They were out of stock for the past 6 months, and
Nice.
we were able to get them. I was pretty happy about that.
I've stopped ordering seeds, but if I'm in a store and I see a shelf of seeds, well, hey.
Exactly.
Oh, saving seeds is something I want to do this year, but like I don't know where to start, so I don't have a plan yet. So if I can get that done, that would be nice. Saving my open pollinators like peas, shelling peas, certain types of tomatoes, because I do have some hybrids this year. That would be fun to no longer buy some of the seeds.
But you will anyway.
I do convert to hybrids. So all my cabbages are hybrids or like mostly hybrid. And I can't save the seeds of them. Well, I could, but they won't be what I've
Shot in the dark.
ordered.
Yeah.
But like I'm trying a hybrid for tomatoes this year for high production. If I save the seeds, it's not going to be the same. It's still going to be a tomato. It's just not going to be the high productivity.
Awesome.
So who else? We got Mary Lynn, I think. Darren. Remy?
For me, it's the tunnel. Just make sure he understands it. The frame is there. It's been there for 2 years, but need something on it, you know.
The year.
He gets
Year.
a message.
So you're converting a temple structure into a greenhouse?
Yeah.
Nice.
And we have a lot of old windows.
Oh,
that
that'd
we
be
can use.
fun to have a window greenhouse.
Yep.
These are our peas.
Oh no.
Only like a couple mouse.
When you sow them outside or inside?
Inside, and they were just there on the shelves,
Ooh.
and we just didn't pack them all. And just one, I don't know, within 1 week, and they came in, at that one point, and we're
Did
able
the
to
same
catch
to
them and
us.
stuff. Yeah.
We
Oh
were-
yeah.
We were still trying to get everything processed, put into like mason jars and other stuff.
Dry them and
Some
all.
would
Yeah.
dry them. So some were in just cardboard boxes. So they were like, so they wouldn't mold. Others were in like Rubbermaid, or not Rubbermaid, Tupperware containers. Like,
Yeah.
And all the pistachios, bastards.
Why the pistachios?
Because they're the most expensive nut you can get.
Isn't it
True
pecan?
that.
Isn't it pecan the most expensive?
I don't know. I was just.
Well, it's one of the most expensive. I don't know if it's the.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
never too early to talk about gardening ever. Never, never, never,
No.
never, never.
That's
We're
the
talking a
old
lot
one.
about.
I feel like we're down there almost
8
ready.
months. Come on, Robert.
No, not 8 months.
Well, 8 months to harvest. He's right.
Yeah.
Off winter, you say.
Okay, we don't have 8 months of winter.
yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have
January,
eight months of
almost
winter,
done.
but
It
February.
feels like it.
True, true, true.
We're talking a lot about projects, but not gardening per se right now. A few more weeks for us here, but definitely projects.
Tomorrow.
whatever's-
Tomorrow.
Yeah. February usually, but yeah, right now we're definitely talking about projects and whatever, how we get our ducks in a row and stuff.
It's funny
Yeah.
how the snow melts and the project lists go up.
Yeah, I don't have cabin fever yet. If spring was next week, I'd be stressed. So I can stand for a little bit more winter.
Yeah.
Cabin fever is hard during the winter
Yeah.
because there's so much you can do around your own home. Well, I don't have that much land, so I can't go walk on my property, but
There's a chore for every season, that's for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, but I get nappy in the winter.
Oh yeah.
The sun goes down. I'm ready for bed. Sleepy time.
Jesus took naps. Be like Jesus.
Yeah. I wake up very early though. I do go to sleep very early because of that. But I do wake up early. But during the summer, it balances out.
True. The seasons evolve. Now we're still busy, but it's not go, run. And then March arrives, and then we're like chickens with no heads. We just keep running around and running around.
I remember
crazy.
last year it was definitely like that. Like everything was still snowed in and everything, and then boom, in a week everything was starting. It's like, oh, okay.
Spring sneaks up on me every single year, regardless how prepared I am. It just sneaks up boom, and then we have a risk of frost at the end of the May. It just pinched me in the butt.
I thought I was being smart and started planting inside in the beginning of March. Didn't work out for me. I ended up with tall, stringy, weak plants.
You need to get your Johnny Seed planting calendar. There's a free calendar for everything. You put your last frost date. And one of the things that I've learned in my training is that, let's just say your last frost date is May 12th. You add 5 to 7 days to that number. So I'm using May 18th. So I'm delaying 6 days. So that means I start transplanting my tomato plants on the 25th of May. But let's just say there's a risk of frost at the end of May, my tomatoes will only be in pots for like a couple of days instead of being ready to transplant at the what's the long weekend in May?
Me too,
Memorial
for
Day.
What do you call it?
Memorial
Me too,
Day.
for-
Yeah, Memorial Day. So usually I would plant my tomatoes there, and then I had to put row covers on top of it, and then or wait, and then they have a chance of getting root bound because like they're almost 2-3 weeks longer. So that's one of the tricks I've learned. You just buy yourself a couple of days so that your plants don't become like super thin and long.
And what calendar is that? Or
It's Johnny. You go on Google and you do Johnny Seed sowing calendar. You figure out your last frost date. You add 5 to 7 days to that, and then that's the date you enter there, and then a list is going to pop up, and they're going to tell you the vegetable, the earliest you can sow them, the latest you can sow them, and then the last column is when you put them out, transplant. But you still have to figure out that you need to hard them off a couple of days or a couple of weeks before. But like you have like a good idea of when to start them and when to get your garden beds ready within that. And it's free. You don't have to pay for it. It doesn't have everything, but it gives you a good start. And it does have flowers too.
okay.
Do we get everyone? I think we got Darren and Remy.
Yep.
Still to go.
Go ahead, Darren.
What was the question again?
Oh,
What are you
God.
looking forward to?
The one
Yeah, what's
thing- the
new?
one new thing.
That's
One
the
new
question.
thing.
What's new?
We're hoping to get the goats this year. So we were planning last year, but with the wedding and everything happening, we just didn't have the time to get everything done that we needed to. So hopefully we can make that happen this year.
Nice. That'd be nice to make
Yeah.
soap with goat milk.
Yeah.
Just having the milk, the cream, the cheese,
Mm-hmm.
the butter, you know,
The goats.
the soap. Yeah, the goat's not so much. It's everything else that goes with it.
For me, I'd say it's not necessarily something, but it's more like a new feeling that I have. I really feel like the last few years I've learned a lot. And last year I put everything out there to see what I could do. And I know I did great. I feel like I did great. But I've seen all the mistakes I've made and all the things that maybe were a little bit too much. So I was like, at the end of the season, I was drained out of my energy. Like I had no energy left to give. This year, I feel like I'm going to be more confident about the stuff I'm doing and more, maybe a little bit smarter about the stuff I do. And I'm not going to be growing food I don't eat. I'm not going to be wasting space as much. It's more like I'll be better prepared, I guess, than what I used to be.
I like that.
It's 2 years ago we grew fennel and stuff like that. Like we don't even eat fennel. Like why are we even growing this? I'm like,
Sausage.
I
like
just
that
wanted
in
to see if
salad.
I could. So
In sausages?
Yeah, you make
Salad.
put them in sausages.
Salad.
Oh yeah.
I didn't hear it. What did you say, Jack?
You put them in sausages. That's that quintessential sausage, Italian sausage flavor.
Really? Okay, so I'm happy I'm trying to grow it this year. I'm going to try to do sausages with it.
Yep.
I like that in salad personally.
It's good
Raw?
too.
Oh, nice. I found on MI Gardener there is one fennel that it's not no bulb. It's just the top portion.
Yeah.
It's like an herb. I don't know. That's what it describes. So I'm going to try to grow both to see which one I enjoy. Obviously in smaller quantities, so I don't have like
Yeah.
20 fennel and I don't like it.
I love like my I was raised by an Italian and so my nonina, she used to make bread with fennel seeds on top. Oh, it was so good. I like fennel. It's really good for tummy too. So as an herb, it's good for, like everything that's been mentioned, but it's also good for tummy.
Okay, so I'm happy that I'm including it in
Yeah.
I want to do not sausages with the casting. I just want to do like the meat, mix it and then freeze it. I want to try what Jack suggested with turkey, with apples and it was turkey, apple, maple syrup, brown sugar. I think.
Brown
No.
sugar, and they use bacon because it's
Yeah, it was
readily
bacon,
available,
something
but-
like that.
yeah.
Just, when you describe it to me, I was like, oh, it sounded delicious. So I want to try to do like the mix of the sausages.
Yeah, we got probably 5 or 6 turkeys that we're gonna do specifically to make those breakfast sausages.
Nice.
So that's entirely what they're for.
Would you be able to share the recipe, or it's like?
Oh yeah, it's not our recipe. We got it off of. I saw it on an episode of Meat Eater, and I think it's in a Meat Eater cookbook now.
Oh,
But
he's got some good food going.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
Meat Eater.
yeah, turkey apple sausage or something, breakfast sausage would probably come up.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. He's got a series going. I think it was on TV for a while, and
He's
then
on Netflix for
It's
a
on
while.
Oh, he
Netflix,
does it
too.
with wild
Like-
turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 2 pounds of
Steve Vanilla.
sliced
He,
bacon.
he
olive
took
oil.
Joe Rogan and another guy hunting, and they shot a doe, and they literally wrapped the doe's head in, I want to say cloth, and buried it in coals and covered it with coals, and then covered that with dirt, and then they ate the meat from around the cheeks and jaw and stuff. Man, it looked good.
I don't know. I'm disturbed by this description.
No. It's tender as
No.
very tender.
I'm sure that the meat portion. Okay, I'm not. I don't know. I've never.
I don't
tasted
think they went
it. But
in the
it's the
skull at all.
description of it, like the head wrapped, and I don't know. There's a part of me that's like,
Yeah, me too.
okay, so I'm not. The
And with
only one.
Darren though, I'm gonna improve my garden. Instead of growing stuff that I didn't eat or didn't like it or didn't grow much,
Yeah.
improvement. You guys gonna improve a bit as well? Like I got
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff I want to improve here, like water irrigation to the garden. is
I
one
would
of the
love
things.
that. I can't do that. Maybe next year, have like an automatic system, gravity with rainwater.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we're
definitely
getting
want to try and
drip tape
get that
from our
set up this
ponds.
year.
I don't know. Oh, you're lucky. We don't have that.
The ponds are pretty far, so we got to work out the logistics on it. But I'm sure someone who knows their physics can tell me exactly the,
Yeah.
calculations on getting the water there, and if I need to run a pump or put it into a tank closer and then try to do gravity, or how much pressure the gravity creates. So I don't know any of that stuff, so it's going to be a lot of guesswork.
That's going to be a lovely project of like, ooh.
Yeah, if it's far enough, doesn't matter the height. You can get it there.
Yeah.
By gravity.
Yeah.
Even though it's lower and stuff. But
Mhm.
what is a calculation that's beyond me?
That
We're-
math
we
I
were-
have to
again.
filter it too for the silt
Yeah.
in the pond and stuff. So I don't know how I'm going to do that yet.
Yeah.
We were very, very lucky when we dug our wells. We have a drilled well. We hit an artesian line. So although it's wonderful because up until I'm going to say October, November, all of the water we had on the property, like for the trailer and everything, was like gravity fed. And then we installed the pump and stuff like that this year. So it's a little bit easier, but we have a spot. So we have the main line coming into the barn, and then we had to take another pipe, and because it constantly overflows, and so it was flowing in front of the house, and so we have a constant runoff. So we were very, very lucky with our water situation. So
That's
I'm
nice.
happy. Yeah.
Here I have to restrain on water. I get like water bans.
Mm.
Not
Now,
even
can you
beginning of
collect-
June.
Can you collect rainwater at all?
Yeah, I'm allowed. Like I have a 1,000 liter. In this year, I want to add a second one.
Hmm.
Because I can fill, if I have like a good rain, I could fill half of the barrel in a good storm.
Mhm.
So if I had 2, that means I would fill 1
Yeah.
if I had like a good storm. But here I'm in a microclimate, so I get like a little bit of rain. So
Yeah.
it takes a while for me to fill it.
Mm.
Because I hate hand watering the garden. It takes me 3 hours and I get eaten alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like-
easy. It's easy for 15 minutes. Then
Yeah, I'm like this, like for like 3 hours, and there's mosquitoes everywhere. I have to get the shirt that Darren
Yes.
suggested.
Yes, the hoodie with the
Yeah, or the bee suit, one of them. Because they're like, I don't know if they're going to be the same this year, but they were ferocious last year.
Mm-hmm.
They were out even during the day.
But that
Yeah.
artesian well, that's a big deal. My cousin owns a well drilling business, and he has the old fashioned pounders that just come up and drop. And he had always told me, he says, listen, he says, if you hit an artesian well, he says, you got to be paying attention. He says, or somebody can get killed or the equipment damaged, because you're sitting there and you've got this, I don't know how much it weighs, but it's a solid pipe that's like 20 foot long with a drill head on top of it. And I'm drilling along, and all of a sudden my line went slack. I'm like, what in the world is going on? And so I started bringing it up as fast as I could, and it ended up coming up and just going over, but the cable caught it. But that was freaky. I got soaked. It didn't come but maybe 2 or 3 inches over the well casing, but it flooded the basement because I was up above. There was a definite
Lovely.
downside.
That's something not to do.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've got it all figured out, because at first last year, we got our well dug when snow had already fallen on the ground. And so like the first few weeks, we just kept like, we didn't know what we were going to do really, because we didn't have a place to put water, to put a pump, to do all of that. So we took a maple line and we siphoned it so that the overflow would go in the maple line and flow downhill. But for a while, like we had a skate rink and out front of the house and out front of the barn. So thankfully we've got it sorted out now. And then once we're in the house, it'll be even better. But we constantly have flow constantly.
Yeah. Eagle, with an artesian well, it's always running. It's moving water.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you end up with puddles out in front, you wouldn't have to worry about bugs breeding in it. I think what they did was they just dug a ditch from the pipe off to angle it away from the house.
We're gonna have to do that too, because where our house there, where the cabin was built, there's a little hill going up beside it. And so the artesian comes from, like, that's the way it's flowing. So we do need to put in a ditch along the driveway and a ditch between the hill and the house. It's okay for right now, but if we're up high enough, so we're fine that way. But if there's ever like massive rain, I don't know. So we need ditches so that it can divert away from the barn in the house. So the things you learn.
Yeah.
I don't know if the question was addressed to me. Adventure with Outdoor Eagles. I put a net covering over the opening of my 1,000-liter. Technically, unless they can pass through a mesh, they shouldn't be able to breed.
Right.
In that, but if I have like the street down my house, there's this water, and sometimes it's stagnant. So even if I don't, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say you can put multiple of that if you want to have a better straining system. Like if one is not enough.
Oh, I put like 1 or 2, but like I never see on my 1,000-liter, I never see bugs on the top of it. Like I don't know how I explain it, but like on my 50-liter barrels, there's a bigger hole, and I see bugs in it. So that means that one I'll have to put a bigger or double the layer of the cloth that I put so that they don't breed in that water.
Awesome. A bunch of very interesting answers. The last question I have, if you had one trick, hack, out of the box that you could give to help a beginner, what would it be?
To help a beginner at homesteading?
Yep. Like one hack or one little, if you were to do a short video and give one.
That's a hard one.
It is. I know.
Get the greatest shovel you can get.
I would say invest in good quality tools or whatever you want to buy, unless like you can find it used, like build it yourself, build it good quality, buy it used, or invest right away in something that's high quality so that you won't have to pay it like 2-3 times because you paid cheap first, and then you're gonna have to buy the high quality and pay like double that.
Yep. Buy nice or buy twice.
Yeah.
Mine was measure twice, cut once, and
Put 4 outlets on the wall.
yeah,
Buy once, cry once.
yeah. And then the other one would probably be, I mean, I know you said only one, network within your community.
Yeah.
I mean, because for like, we have some friends up here, but we're not in with everybody, I guess you can say, but we know enough people where, you know, we barter, more so when we had the livestock and eggs and stuff like that. But bartering, or, hey, like when I burned my hand, do you have something for a burn? Because we didn't have it. So although if you still want to stay within yourself and in your own little circle, still network and find people, you know, let them know what you can offer and what they can offer, kind of thing.
I would say one of the biggest resources that I have a whole shelf that's almost full of countryside magazines and the backwoods living magazines. They have so much. Get hard copies. Anything you get, don't rely on a Kindle. Try to get hard copies.
For imagination, for education, for
education.
Education.
They were going like the Backwoods magazine that I got in the reading room right now is got everything on cows and goats and dairy, and then it's got section on gardening, section on pews, section on it, just everything all encompassing. There's just every other month you get another magazine that is full. It's Self-Reliance is one I have too now, and it's just they're just full of different stuff to help you get through building and just living.
So it's like your grandfather or aunt or uncle that you didn't have,
Right.
and you receive it monthly.
Yeah,
that's nice.
The hardest part is I know I read that. Which magazine is it out of the 300 magazines on my shelf?
Ouch. Do you have a aloes plant?
An aloe plant?
We can't hear you.
Said I need a kitchen window first.
True. Because I have baby aloes plant, like right there.
I have lights, but I don't.
They need a home. They're suffering a lot.
I will buy some. See, I will buy some of you. Bring them.
You want me to bring you one, Angie, at the conference?
Sure, yeah, because I have a plant bulb, so.
Well, it doesn't really need that much sunlight. Like this one is like neglected for months. Like, sometimes I put water, sometimes I don't, and I still can't kill it.
Challenge accepted. I can do it.
I will try it.
Oh, I think Mike's gonna come out and say hi. Come say hi. I'm gonna go to the
You're welcome. I am here.
You're not sharp anymore.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Awesome.
Really good, actually.
Uh-huh. That's good.
You don't have your mohawk going on.
Funny thing that it's gone pretty much. My ponytail was cut the other night, and so it was getting in my way, in my face, and it was driving me nuts.
So you're gonna have to redo your the hair again. Or
I
your-
guess
Yes.
I've been with okay. So we started our second
You mean-
semester, and
Mike, you don't like waking up in the middle of the night going,
that right there. You're not wrong. Yeah, no, I've had a few brain meltdowns recently because we're getting into the meat of the program I'm in. So, yeah, I had one project that took me about 3 days of constant work and just headbutting against it. It was, yeah, I set up a server and 4 virtual machines and a network and a switch, and nothing was working right. So I was going through all the minutia trying to figure out where I went wrong. Yeah.
Man, with computers, just a one tiny detail can just make a big mess.
Yeah. I had misconfigured my network switch and nothing was working.
oh, man.
Are you almost done?
I finished it, so I got everything updated. I got everything ready and everything.
No, I mean your course
Oh, no, I won't be done till December.
of this year.
Yeah.
So it's like a year and a half.
Yeah, it's 123. What? Oh, no, I didn't mention that. I didn't know if it was mentioned.
No.
We had to do, this is the part of the course where we had to apply for co-op positions for the summer. And I accepted an offer at the military base.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
That'll be neat.
Awesome.
So you're working plus school, or you're just working?
No, there's no summer courses, so you get off for the summer, and then for 4 months you're just doing co-op work.
Okay.
And then I come back for the third semester and finish up.
In September to December.
Does co-op mean you get like paid, or it's?
Oh yeah, and it's
nice.
even better for the employers because it comes out of a separate funding. I know, especially for the military, because it comes out of a different pool of funds. So they don't have to pay for me because it's coming out of, not their traditional funding. So it's like pretty much a 4-month interview to see if I'm a good fit for the position there.
Yeah, nice.
It'd be nice if you can get in after.
I think the chances are really good.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Well, you were in the military too, right?
Yeah, for a few years.
So you can remember some of the lingo, and you'll fit right back in. You'll pick it right back up.
Oh yeah, there's 2 other guys in my my class that are ex-military, but they're Canadian. So, and one of them was in.
But they're Canadian.
I didn't mean it that way.
Your wife's Canadian too, buddy.
Canadian military. Let's be clear.
They were in much.
Canada has an army.
So.
I'm joking. I'm sorry.
And no, we all get along. We just, it's, military service is military service. You're just one big brotherhood.
Absolutely.
I don't think any other country has more horse riding servicemen as we have.
Mounties? I mean, Mounties?
So,
I think
Vanilla, you want to answer a question?
What was the question?
One tip, trick, hack.
Right.
Yeah. Learn
You get a hack.
learn to love your homestead. It's never perfect. It will never be. It's not picture perfect. You can't zoom in and take a picture and it will be perfect. But the large picture will never be. And learn to love your homestead for that. That's it.
That's a good advice.
Yeah.
And follow your heart.
Yes.
True.
Yeah, if your heart's not in it, I don't think you could last in the home setting.
Well,
Yeah, don't take advice from people who don't have a homestead.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's
I mean-
that's a good one actually.
Yeah.
With the price of eggs going up the way it is, apparently,
Get some chickens.
We had a comment on one of the when I butchered the turkey, and I've beheaded a lot of poultry over the years, but someone was very upset because you could see that I like swung once and then I like did another like follow up, and they thought that I missed or something. But everyone who's done it knows that the worst thing you can do is overswing, and then it gets stuck in the wood, and it's like, you miss or something. So you need very little. It's like a tap, and that thing's off. But it was hanging on by a little piece of skin. So I did another little tap to take the skin off, and it was good. And this person was very upset, and he said, "Well, maybe if you gave it more than 10% of swing power, then they would have gone better." Clearly, someone who's never done anything like this.
I think it was more 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 it would have been better.
Yeah,
11%.
Well, now the way they're reworking the YouTube rules and stuff, anything that even points to something dying, can be demonetized now. And I've got a couple videos. That might be why I'm actually going backwards in watch time.
Wow.
Well, I try to usually, like, I'll explain, okay, I have the chickens ready. I am about to butcher them. This is the setup I have. And then I cut and okay, it's done.
Yeah.
You don't want to show that stuff. And
Would they still apply that rule for Insiders Club?
Insiders Club?
Like Remy has membership. Let's just say that he would make a how-to butcher XYZ animal, and then would he be demonetized if it was only
I would say yes, because that's why
I'd be careful.
Yeah.
Do it on something else.
Yeah.
I don't harvest any of my animals on camera.
Or blur it out. Because when we came to the actual killing, we blurred it. We didn't show it. We showed the, feathering or defeathering and gutting and all that stuff, but that's never how to strike against it.
Well, my understanding was if it insinuates that something is dying, and what it is it's the whole, they're trying to keep the loudest people get the attention. And I don't care if people don't like doing XYZ, but so I'm not going to say anything about it. But if somebody starts making a bunch of noise about it,
Is it that one video, or it's the whole channel that gets messed up?
I think it's that one video, because I heard about it when I heard about the 8-second swearing. If you swear in the first 8 seconds, then right.
What is that comment? Yukon invites them out to try.
Oh, he's talking to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yukon Jack.
Yep. Yeah. For your question, I would say it's important to have a can-do, can-learn attitude, and I think that's something that all of us here seem to have. I think homesteaders in general kind of have that because I think it's required. But long before you start doing homesteading, I think most of us have that attitude anyways. It's just something we had. Makes you a little bit scatterbrained, but I think it's a required trait. Because some people don't have it. They get overwhelmed about something new.
Where there's a will, there is a way.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to go down that rabbit hole. Go deep as you like.
Innovation is key on a homestead. It really is. Innovation, because there's been so many times I've been out here and like places close down at 5-6 o'clock, and you're out here working and getting something done, and something breaks, or like a pipe breaks or something. You got to fix something.
Yeah, I like to say creativity. Creativity wins.
Yeah.
Or
not only with bricolage, but
or your generator dies, and so you go to pull the cord on the second generator and breaks the cord. Sometimes
you go back to sleep.
Fun. What's that?
You managed to fix one of them?
Yeah, I put the recoil. I shot the video this morning. Redoing the recoil, put new string in it.
Did that last week on my 4-wheeler.
Yeah, it's a pain. It's so tight in there, and then I ended up breaking open my hand again, and
Yep.
I'm like, what is all the? Why am I so sticky? Am I leaking oil? And I'm like, oh, I am leaking.
Just not oil.
Right.
Different lubricant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remy,
Yes.
I'm gonna go. I'm like exhausted. I'm falling asleep.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'll chat with all of you guys either tomorrow or later on.
Awesome.
Bye.
All right.
See you later, Annie.
Annie.
Here. I was just going to wait until everyone answered the question. I think, Darren, did you answer?
What's the question again?
What's the one tip, trick, hack you would give to a new?
But it has to be a hack because no one's given a hack yet.
Yeah, well,
Find the right spouse the first time.
And make sure she stays healthy.
Sometimes first is the worst and seconds are the best. Sometimes.
yeah.
In his case, that's the case.
It was a 7-year tour of what not to do.
Different way to learn, right?
Right, Michael.
But yeah, I said trouble earlier, but tools to me, and a hack. I don't know what kind of hack I would use. It's just creativity every day, Like you have something to figure it out, you figure it out. Doesn't matter how. There's stuff that exists in the world, but mostly you don't know about them. So you just do whatever you can. But long term, we try to do something that will last at the same time,
And remember,
delusional
YouTube is there.
Self-confidence is useful.
Yeah. Right now we have YouTube. You can do anything, and if you want to do anything, it's on YouTube. Somebody's doing it. Just be careful, because I went to watch my video of the of changing the recoil, so I knew what wrenches and stuff like that to get. Some of the comments on that old video that I did the first time were right. It was useless. It didn't show me how to do anything. It was like, watch me change the recoil. I didn't show anything other than me doing it in fast forward. This one's better.
It depends, because like if you're on a homestead and you still have to work and earn a wage, your grandfather's old adage, always go to work in the west and drive home in the east.
Opposite ways when the sun sets. Yep.
I discovered that a few years ago, actually.
Yeah.
Would have been nice if you told me years ago.
Same with the wives, right?
Yeah, if I knew that, yeah.
Nope.
Maybe.
That's the host.
Lost his power again.
Oh.
For real?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe we should cut it off.
Something I said?
Apparently that's his hint.
Yeah. Just turns the lights off.
Is he drunk sleeping again?
The thing is, he just bought a month of the good stream, or the higher level of StreamYard.
Yeah. So we can all be here.
So if you see my big wall of calendar up here, this is to sort out our year, because we're actually turning what was the homestead into basically a farm. So taking the leap to actually making an income off of it, which is a hard thing to do, but we have
We're real.
main thing is that we're diversifying. So we're taking the exact opposite of Mary Lynn's advice of doing one thing well, and we're going to do a ton of stuff haphazardly, and hopefully it comes together. But we'll film it while we do it, so at least that'll be entertaining.
That's good. So is it the whole year you got there?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes, the power went out.
Yeah, he's in the dark.
Oh,
Can't
I wasn't
hear you,
laughing
Remy.
at that. I was laughing at Homestead Aquarius' comment. I'm sorry, Remy. I wasn't laughing at you.
Yes, they're
I
all
was.
they're all dry erase boards.
Homestead
you
Aquarius.
muted yourself.
Hilarious.
Can't hear you, Remy.
Night night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
No volume.
I do that all the time on video calls, and then I just say, like, oh, airplane mode.
He doesn't look happy. He's like, okay, I'm trying to get them to leave, and they're not leaving. Get off my live stream. Do it now.
It says you're muted. That little microphone.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Right now.
Try. Nope. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Homestead Aquarius, that is hard. It's weird because you see pretty women and you're like, oh well, gee, I could date her. I don't know her, but she looks pretty, and attractive, and yeah, she's almost 30, and I'm like, what? Gotta go a little older than that.
You're 35, so you're fine.
Yeah. That's what my parole officer said too.
Okay, cat.
Poor Amy.
All right, guys, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna
off.
head out too.
Well,
Yeah.
Rem, can you hear me?
Yes,
Nod
now
your
I
head.
hear you.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we hear
I'm
you.
out of here.
So power went out again.
Uh-oh.
Is it a good time to sell you some solar panel?
Yeah. And one of the kids made a mess in the kitchen, and both my feet are wet now.
They peed on the floor.
Yeah.
Still haven't house trained them.
You did not train them well.
Well, we were kind of almost done anyway, so I just wanted to be back and say good night and thank you everyone
With
for.
Outdoor Eagle said, "Tell Remy to blink twice for danger."
Well, at least I was able to come back.
Good job.
The family spirit is up, and they seem happy, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But
Of course they're
yeah,
happy. They don't have to pee now.
Yeah.
You should try the
There
adding
was
method.
project.
He's just out.
All right, guys. I'm off. I'll
Okay,
talk to you.
me too.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you
Good night,
very
all.
much, everyone. I'm gonna click the end button now anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Congratulations, Mike.
Bye.
What?
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
See you guys later.
Bye.